Strip away all of it. Strip away the music, the rundown, the opening line. Strip it all away. Because we got business to discuss. That business is the Green Bay Packers. Now, I had an idea of what I wanted this program to be this week. I was going to talk about the Bucs and what I felt they need to do based on what I've seen over the last 3 games from them. But that can wait. I was going to talk about Pat Murphy being named Manager of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. But I've already put those congrats out there. The Green Bay Packers may have a serious problem. A 10-7 defeat on Monday Night Football when all the eyes were on you at Lambeau against the defending champions, a defending champion Eagle squad who last season you gave 2 of their toughest games to. One to begin the season and one that ended your season in the wild card round of the playoffs. You gave them yet another tough game. You held them to a season low in points scored. You made Jalen Hurts look pedestrian. You made Saquon Barkley look pedestrian. But these games come down to just 1 to 2 plays. And you just knew that defense was not going to be able to hold forever. The huge touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. I said out loud and on social media that was probably going to be the dagger the way this game had been going. It was a massive defensive struggle. I cannot fault the defense. I will not fault the defense because the defense did their job. Yet again, you're talking bouncing back from a loss last Sunday against the Panthers, in which you allowed Rico Dowdle to run all over you. It was by far your worst run-D performance of the season. To bounce back and hold a 2,000-yard back like Saquon Barkley to 60 yards on 22 carries. His biggest play was a 41-yard reception. That only happened because Carrington Valentine did not do a good job of tackling. Yes, Saquon put a spin move on him, but if Valentine keeps his feet, he's able to get an angle and get him out of bounds. But we can't talk about ifs. We have to talk about what actually happened. And what happened on Monday night was a super performance by that defense. They only gave up 10. They were put in precarious situations time and time again. They were able to get off the field on 3rd down. They forced the turnover for you. They gave you the ball back with a chance to either tie or win the ball game. But once again, we sit here talking about an L, yet another L, by 3 points. All 3 of your L's have come by 3 points. And all of those L's have one thing in common: the offense and special teams not doing their damn job. That starts at the top. When I say the Packers may have a problem, and I say it starts at the top, that can only mean one thing. That means I'm talking Matt LaFleur. Now, I had this discussion on social media. I've had this discussion here on this very program. My feelings about Matt LaFleur have not changed. I still think he's one of the best play designers, one of the best game planners, one of the best play callers in the National Football League. But it's really hard to defend that position when you go out there and you continue this futile display of offense. Your last 2 games, you've been outscored 26-20. More sustained drives. Better decision making by the head coach. Better play calling by the head coach. Because when you have the entire defense shouting out exactly what you're going to do, and it is now getting into the head of your Pro Bowl running back to where he doesn't want to run the play where the play is supposed to be run, you have a problem. I asked the question just last week. What is it that's making Matt LaFleur be a hesitant decision maker? What is it that's keeping him from allowing this offense to evolve? But now we have to ask another question. Why is he being so damn predictable and so damn stubborn? Defenses know what you're going to do. Most times on second down, you're going to run the football, and it's going to be a zone run, and it's more than likely going to be to the inside. And for a little razzle-dazzle, every once in a while, you go and counter on the outside. It's not Jordan Love being a bad quarterback, because Jordan Love is not a bad quarterback. It's not lack of receivers on the ball club. Yeah, well, I mean, right now, maybe it is. No Tucker Kraft. Christian Watson is getting himself back into football shape. He's not quite there yet, but he made some big cuts, made big catches. But you have no Jaden Reed. You lost Romeo Doubs. Matthew Golden did not play due to shoulder injury. And the guys you had in there last night, even when Doubs was healthy before he went out with that chest injury, he wasn't a big factor. He had 1 catch for 5 yards. Christian Watson led your receiving corps with 2 catches for 45 yards. You have to credit the Eagles' defense, because for as super as the Packers' defense was, so were the defending Super Bowl champions' defense. In this league, you have to adapt or die. You have all the pieces. Again, now you're starting to lose them. Jaden Reed's still out here. He's probably not going to be back until toward December, if he even comes back. Don't know the status on Romeo Doubs, but that hurts. Tucker Kraft out for the season. That hurts. Matthew Golden, who knows if this shoulder injury is going to continue to linger, but not having him hurts. Jenkins goes out with an ankle injury on your offensive line, an offensive line that you've been having to shuffle around anyway, that's been dealing with health issues all season anyway. That hurts. But as the head coach, you have to have your finger on the pulse of things. At least you're supposed to. And find ways to win anyway. Find ways to be effective, regardless of who's there. But again, even when you had guys healthy, this offense has been inconsistent. It's been stagnant. And it has not adapted to the fact that most of the league knows exactly what Matt LaFleur wants to do and his tendencies, and he does not change them for anyone. You got to strip it all away. You've got to do something different. You have to strip away these tendencies. Yeah, we saw him be a little bit more aggressive on fourth down against the Eagles, but I think that was more so to not have to kick Brandon McManus, who now all of a sudden they have quote-unquote beef. I don't talk to kickers. If you have that much beef with McManus, who got paid, you got Haversick sitting right there. Younger, healthier. Use him, but instead you didn't. You still continue to trot McManus out there. McManus, who is not fully healthy. McManus, who has struggled this season. Can't blame him for that last second field goal. The operation was not clean, which brings me back to that point of offense and special teams lost the defense this game again. You have to strip it all away. You have to do something different. Because when the league has you figured out and you're too stubborn to change anything, don't be surprised if you get a call from Ed Policy stripping you of your job.